Syracuse owes a great deal of its success to reigning ACC Freshman of the Year Paulina Shimanova. So we crunched the numbers in the Citrus Science Lab to see just what makes the Russian ringer so effective. Shimanova stands at just 6 foot with a mere 74-inch wingspan. That's actually smaller than the average ACC outside hitter. So what makes her so special? Shimanova whips her arms back to build momentum. As she does this, she exerts nearly 338 newtons of force on the ground. That's more than 14 times the amount that UFC champion Ronda Rousey uses on a single punch. This gives Shimanova a towering max reach of nearly 9 feet. The sophomore makes up for her size with perfect form and no wasted movement. She throws her left arm down, accelerating torque on her hitting side. Meanwhile, her right arm is locked at a perfect 90 degrees. This motion uses the same principles of an MLB pitcher. She hits the ball at about 30 miles per hour, but it seems quicker because of extra topspin using the Magnus effect. Air is deflected upwards and an equal and opposite force causes the ball to dive. Shimanova actually uses more spin on her hits than David Beckham does on his kicks, which means she actually bends it better than Beckham. Even though I was the one who crunched the numbers, Shimanova's skill is known throughout the country. So you might be asking yourself, why don't other teams do something about it? Well, they try. Each match she sees double and triple teams, and no amount of force or velocity can break those. Instead, Shimanova relies on one unique asset. Check out this play against Duke. Shimanova splits a triple team and threads the needle to add to the highlight reel. Combine the force of Rousey, the form of Kershaw, and the spin of Beckham with impeccable vision, and what do you get? An unstoppable volleyball player. For Citrus TV, I'm Brad Klein. Less than 30 seconds into this second half, 2 baskets already, 1 on each end. Georgia Tech now gives it to Kiara Fletcher, cross-court pass to Lautinen. Lautinen has 17 points, 1 off from tying her career high. Pass to Carson, who knifes through the hole and lays it in off the glass herself. 5 points already for Jasmine Carson in the second half. Syracuse trails 42-26, 9:12 to go in the third quarter. Feed to Maeva Jaldi-Tabdi, lines up the 3, and it's good. From straight away, Maeva Jaldi-Tabdi showing off her range. Syracuse trails 42-29, a minute into this second half.
Jaldi-Tabdi is the best 3-ball shooter on this team this season.
Pass to Carson, corralled by her, and she crosses the midline, moving from left to right, jacks up the 3, near side wing, you bet. 45-29 in favor of the Yellow Jackets. Syracuse looking for an answer. Kiera Lewis crosses the timeline, moving from right to left. They work it over to Gabrielle Cooper on the left side. Does not use the Jaldi-Tabdi screen, instead goes to the hoop herself and finishes on the left side. Gabrielle Cooper has her first basket of the night. Georgia Tech beats the press. They work it over to Kubai, not comfortable from that range, hands it off to Lodomai Lautinen. Swinging it around the arc. Kiara Fletcher, feed inside to Pan, kick out to Carson. Same spot, and why not? It's just off. And Gabrielle Cooper climbs the ladder for the rebound. Cooper right to left. Uses the screen from Jaldi-Tabdi. Drive and kick out for Hyman, but the foul called off ball. Digna Stratmana will come in for Syracuse alongside Whisper Fisher and Talia Washington. Emily Anxler, Jaldi-Tabdi, and Kiera Lewis sit for Syracuse.
Syracuse still trailing by 14. A lot of inexperience on the floor at the moment.
Inbounds pass tracked down by Talia Washington, just under the 8-minute mark here in the third quarter. Tisha Hyman guarded between the rings by Kiera Fletcher. No help for her off ball. Stratmana sets the screen now. Hyman uses it to her left, spinning in the paint. The shot is off the mark, wide right, and the rebound received by Carson. Lead pass to Lautinen to advance beyond the midline. Now a pass to Pan. Pocket pass into the corner, reset. Carson up top for three. It's short. Offensive rebound, Georgia Tech. It's Kubai who cleans it up and lays it in off the glass. 47-31 in favor of the Yellow Jackets. 7:20 to play in the third quarter. Tisha Hyman, dribble drive guarded by Carson, and a foul called before she gathered for the shot.
Syracuse now trailing by 11 in the rebounds department. Not getting any better.
Kiara Lewis checks in. Talia Washington sits for Syracuse. Tisha Hyman on the baseline pulls the trigger. The pass is intercepted by Kubai, and she gives it up to Penn, who crosses the midline left to right. 3 minutes into this third quarter, Georgia Tech leads 47-31. Jasmine Carson, no-look pass to Penn in the high post. Gives it up to Fletcher up top. Guarded toe-to-toe by Tisha Hyman between the rings. Pass left to Carson, and it's tipped away by Cooper out of bounds into the Georgia Tech bench, and a side out for the Yellow Jackets. 7 to shoot. Carson has erupted in this third quarter. 0 points for her in the first half. She gets the pass into Kiara Fletcher, uses the screen left, drives to the basket, pass Christopher Fisher. She lays it in off the glass, counted in the foul. Jasmine Carson must have had some of Bugs Bunny's special stuff during the halftime intermission, because this looks like a different player, and it's breathing through the entire offense. Kiara Fletcher feeling some of that mojo, and she gets the old-fashioned three-point play.
Kiara Fletcher continuing her magnificent performance in this game. Boy, what an impressive layup.
And the free throw is good. 50-31 in favor of Georgia Tech. It's all Yellow Jackets. Kiara Lewis quarterbacking this offense, surveying the floor, uses the screen from Whisper Fisher. Drives to her left, guarded by Lautinen. Shot is no good, but she's fouled on her way up. Now Lewis, we saw a lot of that, Jonah, during the early part of the first half, driving to the basket, motoring her way to the rim with her head down. And there she gets an opportunity for 2 free points.
Rare sighting for Kiara Lewis to not really score all that much in that first half, only with 4 points. Emily Engsler back in for Syracuse as well.
Some subs for the Orange, the 5 on the floor. Lewis, Cooper, Colomé, Jaldi Tabdi, and Engsler.
Engsler needs to get on the scoreboard. She hasn't tallied a point yet. Both her and Lewis need to get going.
And Kiara Lewis goes 2 for 2. Now, Kiara Lewis is on a 13-game double-digit scoring streak. Right now, she has 5, and that streak might be snapped tonight. Lautinen crosses the timeline for Georgia Tech, moving from left to right. They work it over to the high post for Kubai. Pass to a cutting Pan, kick out to Fletcher. She pulls up from 15, back iron no, and the rebound goes to Georgia Tech, tracked down by Kubai on the near side wing. 15 seconds to shoot for the Yellow Jackets. Lautinen calling out the play. Pass right to Carson, who's been red hot in this third quarter. Kiara Lewis guarding the ball handler. It's Lautinen. Kick out into the corner for Carson. Carson drive and a pull-up from 11 feet, and it's true. Jasmine Carson with 10 points all in this third quarter. Syracuse looking for an answer. Colomé on the far side wing. Drives to her left through traffic. Pass underneath to Engsler. She couldn't corral it, and it's scooped up by Francesca Penn for Georgia Tech. 5:40 to play in the third quarter. Syracuse trails by 20. And Jonah, if they want to claw their way back, they have to make a move fast. Fletcher to her left, kick out to Penn for 3. Back iron no. Engsler climbs the ladder for the rebound. Hand off to Cooper, who crosses the timeline for Syracuse, right to left. Guarded by Lautinen. And a pass straight away to Lewis. Feeding Jaldi Tabdi underneath, guarded by Kubai. Spinning, and Kubai stands her up in the restricted area. 5 minutes left in the third. Georgia Tech still up by 20 in no rush here. Kiara Fletcher gets a play from Nell Fortner. The 2-3 zone is shifty, looking for answers. Pass inside to Kubai, kick out to Carson. Thought about the 3 instead. A nice closeout by Colomé. Now she pulls up. 21-footer is true. 55-32, and Jasmine Carson looks like a new player. Gabrielle Cooper gets the pass, pulls up from the free throw line, and a quick answer for Syracuse. They trail by 21, 4:33 to play, and that'll take us to a break. You're listening to Syracuse women's basketball on the Central New York Sports Leader, ZD9. Syracuse's comeback fell short in a 5-set loss to Duke. The Orange dropped the first 2 sets and survived to the 5th, only to be killed by a judgment call by head official Jeff McKinney. He determined that Duke made 3 hits instead of 4 at the end of the final set, leaving the Orange shell-shocked.
It was 4 touches, you know. Everyone can be happy and great when it's going well. Everyone, you know. But what it's make good player who can overcome, very quick overcome, not next game. During the same game, overcome, you know, and that's what we keep telling them. But this is something, you know, what it's, the players has to find out how to do this, you know, if they're gonna be step up and play next level.
And of course we're disappointed, but this loss just will make us stronger. We will do some conclusions out of it and just keep practicing.
But there is something to smile about if you're Syracuse. Their middle blocker issues might be solved. Freshman Marina Markova stepped into the role seamlessly with a double-double, 11 blocks for her. Markova and the Orange host number 4 Pittsburgh on Friday. Brad Klein from the Women's Building, Citrus TV. Sierra Cockrell on the near side, swings it over for Megan Carney in the end zone. Parks herself on the R in Syracuse. 27.5 minutes left in the second half. Mary Rahal swings it back to Cockrell. Carney pass to Harris-Chuck at X, and Harris-Chuck turns the corner and throws it in. Emily Harris-Chuck, her 6th goal of the night, and Syracuse's 16th. It's 16-0 with 27 minutes on a running clock left.
She is unbelievable, Brad. She scores at the free position. She scores while cutting. She scores dodging around cage. There's nothing she has shown that she can't do on the offensive end. That's goal number 6.
And the eerie thing is, this is not her season high. She had 7 against Albany, and Harris-Chuck is just adding to her Tewaaraton campaign right now. And so rarely do we talk about the Tewaaraton Award in all seriousness so early in the season. But with Harris-Chuck, Jacob, it's warranted.
Oh, absolutely. She's too good to not be in the conversation. She was in it a year ago. There were some talented players in the ACC. BC was loaded. They had Sam Apuzzo, Kenzie Kent, Dempsey Arsenault. But this year, Emily Harris-Chuck's got her eye on the prize. But it's more than just that award. She's here to win ball games. And by being as good as she is, she helps Syracuse win ball games.
Clock continues to tick, tick, tick away. 26 minutes left in the second half. Harris-Chuck and Afcam again on the block S. They go toe-to-toe, and Harris-Chuck whips it up, and she scoops it up herself. Attacks the attacking zone herself, right to left, and backtracks to the far side. They swing it to Tyrell in the end zone. Tyrell turns the corner. Ready shot is good. Megan Tyrell, join the party, why don't you? It's 17-0 Cuse with 25 minutes left in regulation.
She lets it rip. It's more of like what you would see in a men's lacrosse game. They shoot a little harder. They usually aim high, but Megan Carney just turns, like you said, turns the corner and fires missiles at cage, which gave the goalkeeper Emily Manning just no chance.
No saves for Emily Manning so far. Syracuse has had their way with Manning, and the Orange throw Morgan Widener out there into the draw control circle to go against Sophia Afgham, giving Harris-Chuck a break. Widener has 14 draw controls coming into today's contest. Had some success in the first half as well. Ball thrown up into the air, and this one goes to Syracuse. Scooped up by Grace Fahey on the right side. The Orange moving right to left. She tosses it to Ellis Simpkins going downfield. Taylor Pasuelo checks back into the game for Binghamton as Manning was really struggling. DeFelis flips it to Swart up top. Swart finds Rahal cutting to the crease, and she's bumped, a shooting space violation. So Mary Rahal parks herself on the 8, an opportunity to extend this lead. She already has a goal coming off a free position shot. Rahal, the Queensbury, New York native. going up against Taylor Pasuelo. Whistle blown, she charges in, and Pasuelo stops her at the crease, but Syracuse gets the rebound, courtesy of Sierra Cockrell.
It's a nice job by Pasuelo to step up on a free position shot and make a nice save off the turf.
Cockrell up top, on top of the 12-meter fence, swings it to Rahal on the hash. The Orange find Kenzie Harris, who just checked into the game, seeing her first action of the night. Harris, handoff to Swart. And Grace Fahey with an errant pass inside, and Binghamton scoops it up no problem. So a turnover for the Orange, 17-0 in favor of Syracuse, with 23 minutes left in regulation. And Binghamton advances toward the attacking zone. A whistle blown. Sophia Afgham was on her way past the 30 when she was bumped. Olivia Batista cradling on the near side. Binghamton again is yet to get a shot on goal. And they swing it around. Isabella Mealy up top. Zings it to her right for Batista. Batista attacking DeFelis, but DeFelis squares her up nicely, and Batista backs out. Handoff pass up top, and she shoots and scores. Alyssa Sanchez, the first shot on goal for Binghamton, and the first goal as well. The Bearcats trail 17-1, 8 minutes into the second half.
So we can throw the shutout discussion out the window. The last shutout will remain that 25-0 one over Stetson in 2014.
That's Sanchez's first goal of the season. And Binghamton, at least a morale score for them. So Morgan Widener in the draw control circle on the block S here at Ernie Davis Legends Field, going up against Sophia Afgham. Afgham from Woodbury, New York. They lock sticks on the block S. Referee lets go. Whistle blown, and Widener corrals it herself. Then she's thrown down to the ground. Whistle blown against Binghamton. Originally, the Bearcats thought that Widener was the culprit, and she is. They reversed the call. Two referees have a discrepancy in their calls, but they rule that the Bearcats were the ones who delivered the blow. So Syracuse has it in the attacking zone. 10 minutes into this second half, Kenzie Harris turns the corner on the near side. On the 12-meter fan, and she swings it to Costantino up top for a reset. Costantino feeds Quimby on the left. Quimby into Harris. Harris finds Costantino on the doorstep, and a whistle blown, shooting space violation.
Great ball movement by the Syracuse team. Kenzie Harris just checked into the game and found a cutting Costantino who was wide open. And I think she still could have even gotten that shot off if she wanted to.
Costantino on the 8, charges in, pass inside, and the shot off the crossbar. Shot taken by Riley Fusco coming in from the end zone. And the Orange come up empty-handed on that try, but they hold on to possession. Kara Quimby controls up top. I'm here with Paulina Shimanova, star of the Syracuse volleyball team. Paulina, thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome.
So recapping the season, at the end of the day, you guys finished 12-13, 9-9 in ACC play. What do you think about the season?
Yeah, I think we started not that good as I expected, but I think it was the lack of the games in preseason, like tournaments and stuff. But I think we finished pretty strong, and that's a good season.
Especially towards the beginning, I remember you and Coach telling me it's a very young team. We're still trying to get our feet under us. A lot of freshmen. How do you think the freshmen actually developed when it was all said and done?
Yeah, I totally agree with you. As we've talked with Coach before, we lost our 6 seniors, and that's a great loss. But I think freshmen did a good job when they getting into the team and trying to build this chemistry and all this stuff. So I think they did a pretty good job, and during practices they helped a lot.
You lost a lot of star power in the middle last year with Santita and everyone else. So the freshmen really had to fill the void. That was a big problem for you, especially early on as a team. But Marina stepped in and played so well in the middle. Marina Markova, the freshman from St. Petersburg. What did you think of the way that she played and filled those shoes?
Yeah, I think it was a great start for her as a freshman. And actually she played as an outside hitter before, so that was kind of like a great switch for her. But she did a great job, yeah. And that's so sad that we lost her in the middle of the season because of her broken finger. But yeah, she did great.
There were a lot of turning points in the season, and Marina's injury was one of them. What was the temperature of the locker room? How were you guys feeling after losing such an important player?
Yeah, of course it's hard, especially when we lost such a great middles last season and we finally found Marina and bam again and this happened. So yeah, that was like rough, but we didn't have an option, so we tried to do our best.
And you did do your best, and Abby Cassiano, Dana Gardner, they all played pretty well in replacement of Marina. What would you say to that and how the team kind of kept on filling the void that kept on emptying?
Yeah, I think they did a great job on blocking, especially like the last games. There was like a pretty high percentage compared to the previous games, and like they keep improving themselves. Yeah, I think that's good.
Going back to Marina, what's your relationship like with her, not just as a captain, but from one St. Petersburg native to another?
Yeah, that's actually pretty funny because we were like playing against each other in different clubs, so we're like the big rivals every year, and like honestly, like I was like, oh my god, no, I don't want to play with Marina, like because they were like the best team in the city, and I was like, but like I also want to take a revenge and like stuff like this. So like being here together is kind of fun because like we played some games like for our city team, like for St. Petersburg team when we like went to a Russian championship. Like we played together there, but like here it's completely different and it's kind of fun.
First team All-ACC, 5th in the nation in kills, and you shattered Syracuse records. What does that individual success mean to you?
Yeah, it's actually mean a lot for me, and I think I will just keep trying to do my best, and I'm really happy that this happening to me. Yeah, I'm just trying to do my best.
What's the ceiling for Paulina Shimanova? What should we expect going forward?
I'll try to lead the team, especially being a captain on the team is pretty hard, but like doing my best on the court and try to get as many kills as I can.
It was a small senior class. You're an underclassman, you were still the captain. What kind of position did that put you in, being an underclassman, having to lead a team of some players that are, quite frankly, older than you?
Yeah, actually, I was pretty surprised when coach chose me because, first of all, being an international on the team, kind of like not as common, and also because I am not like upperclassmen. Usually, coach chose like seniors and people like this because like they have more experience and stuff, but probably like the way how I showed myself like freshman year and like how I'm doing in the court, and because we have many internationals on the team and I kind of like know what their problems are and the concerns like, and yeah, I'm just glad he chose me and I'm trying to do my best.
So you have a lot of players from a lot of different places, Marina from your backyard, but hey, not everyone's from the same place. You have Yulia from the Ukraine, and how do you kind of mold all those different people from all those different cultures in one locker room?
I think it's a great thing that we have so many different people in the one team, and like our team is pretty small compared like to other volleyball teams. We've got just like 13 people this season, and that's just been great that people have different cultures and you just learning different backgrounds, and like even volleyball, like the volleyball rules back home, like for me and like for people from Europe, they're like completely different. Like for example, in Europe, you can't touch the ball can't touch the ceiling and all this stuff. Like libero can be the captain, libero can serve. Like there are many differences. And like when he first got here, like oh my god, like I would never say that. So that's kind of cool because like people share different experiences.
What should we expect from Syracuse volleyball next year?
I mean, you also have to expect the best of the best. I think we try to build the chemistry and connection, and it's becoming like better and better. And I think at the beginning of the season it wasn't that good because, as I said before, we didn't play as many tournaments. But during this season, I actually can see how the team improved, and we'll just, go for it.
Paulina, thank you so much for coming into the studio to recap the Syracuse volleyball season. Check out full coverage on citrustv.com.